this is another anime review. This time around, it's of Free Iwatobi Swim Club, which I just finished. I just not too long, about half an hour or so ago, put up my review of the final episode. So now I'm going to review the series in and of itself. So, Free Iwatobi Swim Club is an original property by Kyoto Animation. It was directed by Hiroko Utsumi and written by Masahiro Yokotani, and music's by Tatsuya Kato, and like it says, by Kyoto Animation, as well as Animation Do, which I've never heard of them before. And it originally ran from July 4th, 2013 till today, September 26, 2013, and it ran for a total of 12 episodes. And like I said before, it's an original property, which means it doesn't have a manga series based on it. However, it does have a light novel written by Koji Oji and illustrated by Futoshi Nishiya, and published by Kyoto Animation, and published on July 8th, 2013, so I'm guessing it's completed. Alright, now let's talk about the plot. The story revolves around Haruka Nanase and his childhood friends Makoto Tachibana, Nagisa Hazuki, as well, and a new friend of theirs, Rei Ryugazaki. They are swimmers. When they were children, along with their other childhood friend, Rin Matsuoka, they were in the Iwatobi, or not Iwatobi, well, they were in their middle school swim club, basically. And they won. And Rin ended up going to Australia to swim to learn how to become a professional swimmer so that he could try out for swimming in the Olympics. And when he came back, he actually transferred to a different school, at the Samazaka school, I think it is. Alright. And the basis of the story is basically trying to get him back with his friends, because he lost. He did quite not poorly, but he didn't do the best that he could when he was in Australia, and he lost to Haruka when he came back. So he professed he would quit swimming. However, he decided to swim again and just transfer to the Samazaka schools and join their swim team. However, at the end of the series, the two schools actually end up joining with practice and training. So he ends up swimming with them again. However, because of these experiences, he becomes a very bitter person, neglecting his previous friends, including their new friend Rei, and including including his own sister Matsuoka, and also his this kid from his new school who seems to idolize him for his swimming, because he's quite the beginner, and it's unclear throughout the series whether they are friends or not, but it's clear that this kid does highly idolize Rin because of his amazing swimming abilities. Alright. And that's basically the basis of the plot. Now, the plot, well, it's Kyoto Animation, and Kyoto Animation almost always delivers something brilliant. I think that we can I think that I can safely say that. There have been a few hiccups, such as, Lucky Star and K-On!, but for the most part, they almost always deliver something fucking brilliant, and Free is no exception. The characters are really cool. My favorite character in the series by the end of it was actually Rin. By the way, I just want to mention something actually kind of funny. The gimmick of all the main male characters is that they're guys with girly names, but then there's Rin's sister, Go, the girl who has a guy's name. Alright, so it's kind of funny, I just wanted to mention it. But anyways, though, Rin at the beginning when he's first introduced, is very bitter and very cold, he pushes away all of his friends, including his own sister, because of his feelings towards Haruka. But really all he wants is just to swim with his friends again, but he's too embarrassed to just say that straight out. However, his character development does end up coming in, and it develops him so well that he's actually my favorite character in the series. However, that's also one of the series' biggest downfalls, because his character development doesn't even start until the final episode. I originally thought there's many times in the series where it looks like it's going to start, but no, it doesn't start until the final episode. At the beginning of the final episode, he's the same exact way he has in the entire fucking series. And at the end, he's completely fucking changed. You can't do that. That is way too fucking fast-paced character development. It should have started at least 3 or 4 episodes before that. Alright? But it didn't, and so I do have to mention that. That's pretty much all I have to say about the characters, though. Other than that, you know, you have frickin' Haruka, who's the actual main character, although he's not my favorite, as I said, Rin's my favorite. But Haruka is still a really likable character in and of himself. Alright? He's very his biggest thing with swimming is that he doesn't like to swim by any competition standards, which is why he was so reluctant to rejoin the swim club. These days he likes to swim free, which is obviously the relevance of the title, you know. He likes to swim free and of his own accord. And that's really his big thing, which again is why he was so damn reluctant to rejoin the swim team. Alright, and him and Haruka were probably, Haruka and Rin were probably more close than any of their other 2 friends were as children. Were with them as children, or not children, but in middle school. Alright, and it's not really explained why that is, but with the flashbacks we've seen, it's definitely so. Another thing that I have to say about Rin is that the whole reason he wanted to become an Olympic swimmer, level swimmer, is because his father was an amazing swimmer, and he wanted to go for the Olympics, but he decided to quit and become a fisherman, and he died at sea. Alright, and that's the whole reason he wanted to become an Olympic swimmer to begin with. Alright, so in terms of the plot and characters, no real problems except for the way too fast-paced character development that I mentioned previously for Rin. Going into the music, here's an odd thing for me. Like, when I started the series, I did not like dubstep at all. Well, mainly because most of it I listened to was absolute horseshit. However, after watching the series, I actually got into a lot more of dubstep, so yeah, there's something to say right there. So now, let's get into the... Hold on. Sorry about that. So yeah, now let's talk about the art. The art is very well done and not incredibly original, but it's not completely like cliched either. It's kind of a mix of both, you know. By the way, about Ray, I do have to mention that real quick. Am I the only one, when seeing him in the anime, that gets reminded of freaking Uryu Ishida from Bleach? Not only with his personality in terms of how analytical he is, but also his character design slightly. Not completely, but slightly. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, I don't know. But anyways, though, the art is really good and whatnot, and of course there's a shit ton of man service in this series. So that you don't know that it's fan service that appeals to females. At first I thought that would turn me away from the series, but it actually didn't. I'm glad. Alright. So yeah, but for your female audience out there, you'll probably want to watch it just simply for that. Well, the generic female audience out there anyways. And the animation is amazing. Now, this is no surprise because this is Kyoto Animation. Simply put, this is Kyoto Animation, so they always have amazing animation. Even in their shit series, like Lucky Star and K-On! There are still moments in those series that have great animation. And this series is great animation all the way through. Alright. Like, especially the swimming scenes. Now, the swimming scenes are rotoscoped. And what that means is basically they took real swimmers, videotaped it, and actually animated that. And because it's rotoscoped, it's the most amazing looking shit in the entire series. It really is incredible. This is how you do rotoscoping correctly, Akunohana. Yeah, we're going back to that. I think I'm going to go back to that every single time I watch a series that has rotoscope shit in it. Okay, well, good rotoscope shit in it anyways, like, such as this. But enough about that. No complaints with the animation or art style at all. And going back to the music really quickly, the ending isn't too impressive. It's okay, but it's nothing to brag about. But that opening is fucking awesome. Like, that song is so memorable, honestly. I still have it playing in my head and whatnot. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the series, so let's get into the my final thoughts. So, this is a perfect series for summer, which is probably why they aired it in the summer. And, you know, like I said before, the female audience out there, you probably want to check this out, just even if it's only for the man service, because there is a lot of it in here, okay, but also this has a great plot and character development, even if it is kind of abrupt in terms of Rin's case. And really, it has its problems, such as Rin's abrupt character development, you know, and a few pacing issues here and there throughout the series. The biggest issue was definitely the pacing. I felt that it went a little bit too fast for my own taste. That's really it. I do highly recommend this series. I'm going to give it an 8.7 out of 10 because I think it's a great series and probably one of my favorite series of the summer. Alright, so yeah. Anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.